Mishki here, joining the GL world to pitch my new podcast, which now comes out twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. The show features an extraordinary array of exotic circus performers, forgotten Hollywood starlets, reclusive Fortune 500 CEOs, professional taxidermists. Yep, wait a minute, that's a different promo. Where's the promo for GLers? Here it is. Let's try this again. Mishki here, pitching my new podcast. We're out of time? Could I do it again?
I'm rolling.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic episode number 1610, September 2nd, 2025. 97 degrees on this day in 1937 and 42 degrees on the morning of this day in 1974. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
Hail you! And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
Hail the flashlight king.
Hail you!
Not bad. Yeah. Dale writes, is it me or since Reavers called out the smoke warnings as a COVID-type scheme, we haven't had any smoke warnings? Just saying. Good luck, Dale Kirsten.
Dale, you and I are brothers from another mother.
Well,
isn't that funny?
You want to know why there's no smoke? Because I'll tell you why.
You want to know?
They had rain up there finally.
Oh.
It ain't no COVID thing.
Is that something we need to yell and fight about?
Yeah. Oh, we're ready to go. I mean, it's welcome back.
We don't
time,
have much
everybody.
of an objection. I'm with you, Kenny.
Welcome back. Here we go. State Fair, huh? Who misses the fair?
I only went twice this year, but I made it count.
See, none of us are billionaires.
Yep.
Mass shooting in Minneapolis. Oh, wait, this is a different one.
Jeepers.
A man and a woman have been charged with aiding an offender in the South Minneapolis mass shooting last Tuesday. That was the day before the Annunciation shooting. Their shooting killed one person and injured six. Tiffany Martindale and Ryan Quinn were both charged in Hennepin County Court on Friday.
Are we calling a special session due to that shooting?
I wonder. The shooting happened shortly before 1:30 p.m. in the area of 29th Avenue South in Clinton. Responding officers found one man fatally wounded, six others with gunshot wounds of varying severity. And they went to an Inver Grove Heights address listed on the registration of a... Investigators identified the suspect vehicle as a gray Honda Civic with no rear license plate. After looking at dash cam footage provided by a witness, officers were able to make out the front license plate of that vehicle and learned it was registered to Quinn. They went to Inver Grove Heights, saw the Honda, now with a rear license plate reattached. Quinn told officers he and Martindale had picked up a man known to him as Bino and driven him around the metro area. He said Bino directed them to the area of the shooting, and then they circled the block. As they passed the area a second time, Bino told Quinn to stop the car. Bino then got out of the car wearing a mask and holding a rifle and started shooting into a crowd standing on the sidewalk. Bino got back in the Honda after shooting multiple rounds, which struck 7 people. Quinn and Martindale then dropped Bino off in North Minneapolis.
What's the small talk?
Investigators say there were numerous calls between Martindale and Bino during the day of the shooting. Martindale's the woman in this. Charges said Bino also provided Martindale with the address of McDonald's on Lake Street, around 2 blocks from the area of the shooting. And I guess they must have known Bino, and they decided to give him a ride around town all day long.
What's the small talk in the back seat after you do a little shoot-up?
I don't know.
Do you address it, or do you just pretend nothing happened?
And then this one says...
Bino's kind of a funny name.
It is. Hey, Bino, what do you want from McDonald's?
This headline from Carol Evans says, "This is not the city I moved to." Apparently, yesterday we had another rash of 22 vehicles with their windows smashed.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yesterday. This has been persisting now for months. A smashed window is nothing compared to a lost child, but it's all of the same sheet of paper. The newly damaged vehicles were found in 3 different locations along 35W, just north of the airport. That makes no sense because 35W isn't anywhere near the airport, really. Okay, but just anyway, the vehicles were hit on Fremont and on and on and on and on. They break in, go through the glove department, steal stuff.
Compartment.
It's not the Minnesota I grew up in.
No.
That's a better way of putting it.
Plus, what do they think they're going to find when they go into the glove compartment?
Oh, I don't know. A gun, maybe? Money? All right. Yeah, it goes there.
My insurance information, my registration. About 14 pairs of cheater glasses that belong to the roommate.
Yes. This is way off topic, but I have a wonderful, wonderful Garage Logic tip that reflects my knack scale. I think
a tip that affects you.
I think favorably notes my.
It'll get you a notch up.
Yes.
Okay.
Favorably.
Do I smell a cheat coming up here?
No.
I'm listening very carefully, Mr. Mayor.
When you're in your car and you're bothered by a rattle.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Okay, ready?
Oh,
ready?
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Always look up.
Yes.
Look up.
Yeah. It's that
Now,
thing.
it's sometimes it could be your garage door opener, which is attached to a visor, is not snug. Or, more importantly, a lot of cars now, right under the rear view mirror, they have a little drawer that opens, and you can stick sunglasses in there and then shut it again.
Yeah.
Okay. CP's car was driving me nuts.
Oh, I bet you were just crazy.
She's got a dashboard tray full of cheaters and cords and candy and crap, and I just
Coupons.
everything under the sun, and I just assumed that rattle was coming from there. It took all of that out.
I'm glad I'm not the only.
You stripped her down to the studs, huh?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
That didn't stop it. I looked up.
Yeah.
I opened that little container, and there was a pair of shades in there rattling around. And that was it. Always look up.
I grab a bunch of, because I have so much toilet paper in the truck, I rip off a bunch of toilet paper, shove that in there so they're in there snugly, and then they never rattle.
Well, that's brilliant.
That's a good way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that was it. Look up.
We are on the same page. With
Men
noises.
and women of Garage Logic, look up.
I say to thee.
I say to thee.
What if you have several things rattling in your vehicle?
Well,
You're not really sure which way
I can't
to go.
solve your
In your
problem.
case,
Up,
Matthew,
down.
turn the radio up.
Okay, that's right. Drown out the sound.
Yeah,
Thank
that's how
you,
you
Kenny.
fix all mechanical issues.
Yes.
You just turn the radio
Let's
up.
go.
How come we turn the radio down when we're trying to see an address?
Anytime you're trying to concentrate.
I do that. I don't know why.
You know what? It's a concentration thing.
When I get stuck in stop and go traffic, I put on the heaviest hardcore, something like Gangstar hip hop, and just turn it way the hell up. And then all these white people are shocked to see the old man with the gray beard rocking out to hip hop.
I have a small ray of hope from this morning.
Oh, boy.
Is
it a long story?
No, I was tasked with watching my young grandson.
Oh, fun.
While Mom went away to a doctor's appointment in downtown St. Paul this morning. As I drove there at 8 o'clock, there was traffic. There was traffic downtown. I've never seen that since COVID. I was trying to get up across the Robert Street.
Must have been people trying to leave.
I don't know what it was.
I have to back you up. The both northbound and southbound E and westbound 94 and northbound 52 have been very heavy the last month. Very heavy.
Okay, just an observation.
Does that qualify as a rehope?
What's going on?
I don't know. It's fall.
He
Maybe
dismisses
people
it.
are returning to work.
I don't think there was traffic
School.
congestion in his area.
Well, a lot of kids started school today. My boys went back today. So maybe that had something to do with it.
Could be. There are not many schools downtown St. Paul, though.
I believe companies are intensifying the callback of employees.
I'm for that because we need a vibrant downtown.
Yeah, it's about time, huh, Kenny?
Yeah, you bastards.
Except for you two morons.
Yeah, you guys can come
Can
back
we
now.
turn to the events at the Annunciation Church? It's really impacted the Twin Cities. I went over there Saturday.
Oof.
Very moving. But I have two things that tell us where we are in the world. Because I said we're broken. And for 3 days, all I've heard from people is ban assault weapons, ban assault weapons. Well, to be technical, and I'll get to that. But to be technical and clarifying, this kid did not have an assault weapon. Kenny will correct me if I'm wrong, but Kenny did the homework. He had an AR-15 style rifle, which is a civilian gun that is semi-automatic, meaning you have to pull the trigger each time a bullet is fired.
Right.
He did not have what people, I think, mistakenly believe are machine guns. You know, you just pull the trigger. You don't get those in this country without real strenuous testing. Am I correct?
Right, or you have to be a federal firearms dealer. But in theory, the ATF knows where all of these are if they're legally registered.
He had a Mossberg 590 Cruiser shotgun. That's a 12-gauge pump, right? With
And
a
the
pistol
stock
grip.
with a pistol grip instead of a stock, which makes it highly inaccurate. You can't really aim and point with it.
Which he wasn't doing. He was insanely hoping to kill people.
Is that because of the kickback, Kenny, where you just really can't control it?
Right. Well, with a
pop,
stock,
pop.
it's up against your shoulder
Right.
and you're looking at it. This is a pistol grip, so you're holding it like this.
Okay, so the accuracy is way
He
down.
had a Smith & Wesson M&P compact 9mm handgun with 3 magazines.
That's just a simple carry self-defense firearm.
Also used in competitions, I would imagine.
Yeah.
He had a revolver that appears to be a Colt 38 Special Police issue. Now, for all we know, that might have belonged to a great-grandfather.
And the only thing that's interesting about that is those are a double action revolver, those specials, which means you don't have to pull the hammer back look at the screen, Joe. The hammer with your thumb,
Right.
You don't pull it back. You can just pull the trigger, but it's a very heavy trigger pull and it leads to inaccuracies.
While the 9mm handgun that the lunatic had full metal jacket rounds. Full metal jacket rounds are cheap target rounds used for practice.
Yeah, and the thing with those, they're cheap, but doesn't the name Full Metal Jacket strike fear into you?
Of course.
And
In
the
fact, it
only
was the name of a movie.
The thing to fear about those is that they can travel a long, long way. If you're going to carry any kind of firearm, you should use hollow point ammunition, which breaks up upon impact. That means there's going to be no residual deaths or injuries after your round has passed through the target.
So if I understand this correctly, the ownership of fully automatic military-style M16 or M4 rifles, very percentage-wise, very few civilians own them, and those that do have to undergo more testing than any other gun owner. Am I on the right track?
You're on the right track, but the one thing we are leaving out here there are kits available for certain firearms, both semi-automatic handguns and AR-style guns that will convert your semi-automatic into a fully automatic. Those kits are illegal.
Well, let me steal a thought from Kenny then. When you go through the list of what the lunatic had, an AR-15 style rifle that was semi-automatic, meaning he had to pull the trigger each time, a shotgun with a pistol grip that was not automatic or semi-automatic, a Smith & Wesson M&P compact 9mm handgun. That's not automatic, correct? That's not semi-automatic.
Which one?
The 9mm handgun.
That's a semi-automatic.
Meaning pull the trigger each time.
Correct.
What makes that lethal, presumably, is that he had 3 magazines ready to go.
Well, you run through your 9 or however, probably 15 in a 9mm. You click a button, the other one, the empty magazine drops out. You slam another one in.
And the revolver that appears to be a Colt 38 Special Police
probably
issue.
6 rounds with a 38.
And that one,
it's a clunky gun.
It's a clunk.
It's fun, but it's
to
clunky.
steal your thought, Kenny, from before the show. Aren't these all assault weapons?
Everything, every firearm I own, that we all own, and I'm sorry if you're a firearm owner, but it's the truth. All guns are assault weapons, every single one of them.
In the hands of the wrong people, they're all assault weapons.
Absolutely.
Every
In my
one.
hands, I shred cardboard, or I go hunting.
So what is the visceral appeal? What is the emotional tug that compels people to have an assault rifle ban as opposed to a shotgun ban or a 9mm handgun ban?
In my words, and I would love to hear somebody else's opinion, it means you're not a deep thinker. You're saying something to make yourself feel better. That's my opinion.
I personally do not feel my freedom as an American would be taken from me if I could not go and buy a military-style rifle. I'd be okay with that. But that's not going to accomplish anything.
Okay.
Because I'm convinced that what we're seeing here is the confluence of lunacy and guns.
This young man checked every box, and I realized the red flag law didn't kick in until I believe it was last year. But he's been checking boxes for years and years and years. He never should have been allowed to purchase a firearm.
Well, he should have been institutionalized, but we have no institutions.
Right. And neither one of his parents or any of his teachers, when they would have come forward, we didn't have the red flag law that we do now.
Because judgmentalism has been driven from the human mind by the mystery.
Thank you. Yeah.
So where are we? Now, Walz wants to call a special session to do what?
To
God?
me,
anyone? Staff?
well, right, they want to talk about banning these so-called assault weapons, but why don't you just talk about banning all firearms, which will never, ever, ever happen? And even if it does happen, you're not getting those firearms.
No, because there's probably 500 million firearms in the country.
And you're turning all of those legal, safe, law-abiding citizens into criminals. And like I was talking before the show, I bet you I own half a dozen guns that belong to my ancestors that are very, very, very special to me. A lot of them haven't been fired since the 60s and 70s, but they still mean a lot to me.
Also, help me understand this. To own or buy a fully automatic, that would be military grade. Aren't they about 30 to 50 grand?
Woo! I honestly don't know, but
they're very expensive.
I bet they are, yeah.
And that isn't the gun that people think of when they think that was the gun used at Annunciation. That was not the gun used.
It was not the gun, but that's what they think of. They think of Al Capone and holding, spray.
The Tommy gun.
The round
the
wheel
round
of
magazine.
bullets. Yeah.
That's what they think of.
Okay, I've got to take a break, but when we come back, I'll tell you. Well, I won't tell you anything. I'll point out one of the things that I think is a major problem in the explanation of why we're broken. The center of the American experiment is not broken. They're great thinkers. I'm glad they're on board with us. We love these guys. And they're trying to solve an education problem now. Did you see Channel 5's report last night on the excessive salaries that school superintendents get? Well, we've been on to this for years. They're in the club. They're in the super club.
Yep, it's a great...
and they get they get a lot of dough and they get a lot of bennies.
It's not going to the
They get
students.
$1,000 a month for their car. They get longevity pay. They get wellness pay. It's all a great scam if you're in the club. Now, I wouldn't mind so much if the results of these schools were splendid. They're not. The center of the American experiment says we've tried more money, that we've tried more bureaucracy, we've tried more administration. None of that works. Half the kids in this state can't read or do math at grade level. Half. Now, I can't blame that. I can't lay that at the feet of a super. They're too busy just being in the super club. I can't even lay it at the hands of the teachers, can I? In most cases,
No.
I mean, there's a lot of teachers out there that wish the kid could read.
You're right.
And they try to help him read. But yeah, how about you get to spend $7,000 for your own kid and decide where you want to send the kid to school? Public, private, charter, homeschool, whatever fits. It's American Experiments. 7K for Kids campaign. Go to 7kforkids.com or americanexperiment.org.
Football is finally back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Play with as little as $1, and you just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, and lots more. This year, I'll probably stick with some of my favorite players like Josh Jacobs of the Packers. He helped me win money last year by usually going higher on yards rushing. I'll be looking for him to again go higher on rushing yards. It's easy to pick, and it makes watching the games that much more fun. Download the app today and sign up with promo code GARAGE to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code GARAGE. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Promo code GARAGE. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Reavers here once again for my guy, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Well, sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? Well, Mr. Money Talk is going to be able to sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute, no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute, no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe
You have
Souchere.
to eliminate that one from the right this minute. Eliminate that from the
That song?
yeah. Just eliminate
I
it.
kind of like the sharp drop
Just
off.
get rid of it. Yes, Kenny.
Oh, you mean it drops off like that? That
That's
isn't-
right, Ken.
That's why it keeps happening, yeah.
I thought it was bad
No, I don't want to ever hear that one again.
I thought it was Chris's fault. Hey, I got a mailbag that's chock-a-block here, a mailbag full of mail. I get a lot of email correspondence regarding Seafoam, so we're going to read every single one of those letters. You guys, you can turn your mics off, maybe go to the lunchroom, go down to the bathroom, because this is going to take a while. From Tim.
Got it.
A while back, I bought 6 cans of Seafoam. I put one in right away, a full can. Then I waited 3 months to put another full can in. How often should I do this, or should I just do a little amount every time? I responded via email. Give it a heavy gulp once a month. That'll keep those cylinders happy. That's all you need. Count to 3. That's what I do. From Naomi. Hi, Kenny. I get this one a lot. Having trouble finding Bugs Be Gone you're always talking about. Even in the Seafoam website, I can't seem to find it. What thoughts and advice do you have for me? Patiently waiting on the edge of my tailgate for your reply. Yeah, I get this one a lot. I found a link on the website, seafoamworks.com, and all that does is link you up with places near you that you can find Bugs Be Gone. I've also told her that I have had a lot of luck, and so have GLers at the various Fleet Farm stores. But truth be told, if you need Bugs Be Gone, you should go to a campground or a hotel in South Dakota. I just got another email from Jeff saying he stopped at a KOA in SD for a night. They had free samples. He grabbed one, sprayed it on. Bugs were gone in a couple of minutes. That's how easy it is. We might be at the end of bug season, but it's still a great gift idea. It's always a good idea to give those cylinders a big gulp of the motor treatment about once or twice a month. It's a great way to keep it purring like a kitten and keeping it out of the hands of your mechanic. A wonderful product in a world of bad gas. Seafoam.
These are difficult waters to navigate. In an effort to demonstrate why we're broken. But do you recall about a week before the shooting at Annunciation, we had the story of a judge going very easy on a kid who brandished a weapon in a parking lot at Gustavus Adolphus College, threatened to kill the owner of the car.
Yeah.
Did not. She fled. He stole the car.
Yeah.
A teenager was spared prison Monday. This is dated August 25th. Was spared prison Monday and given, this is from when I read this the first time, it's a Star Tribune piece, and given a 1-year jail term for ambushing a Gustavus Adolphus College student in a campus parking lot late at night and threatening to shoot her in the head before he stole her car. Tavius Sorgatz Martin, 19, of Rochester, was sentenced in Nicollet County District Court after pleading guilty to first-degree carjacking in connection with brandishing what the victim feared was an assault-style rifle. Now, we've been through that. That could be the rifle that looks scary.
That perfect definition. Yep.
Doesn't scare
but
me, though.
Very unlikely to have been an automatic. Would that be
Highly
fair?
unlikely.
Highly unlikely. While what his victim feared was an assault-style rifle while stealing her car at 2:45 a.m.,
Is this the one where the mom or the parent at the end of the story said he has an airsoft gun?
Yeah, but that isn't the point I want to make. But that's what he had.
Yeah.
Over the objection of the county attorney's office, Judge Paul Gunderson, are you listening, Paul? Paul Gunderson set aside a sentence of slightly more than 6 years and opted for the year in jail. With credit for time in jail since his arrest, Martin has 4.5 months left to serve.
Wow.
He also gets 240 hours of sentence to serve, which means being part of a work crew and probation. The point is he's not going to jail. James Dunn, Chief Deputy for the county attorney's office told the Minnesota Star Tribune that Gunderson, the judge, took into account, quote, Mr. Martin's age and lack of brain development due to his youth, and that Mr. Martin was remorseful for his actions and he was cooperative in court and took responsibility for his actions, and that he had strong familial and community support. Okay, so check this out. You're telling me that we have a judge in Minnesota, he wouldn't be the only one, but this fellow's name is Paul Gunderson, and in sentencing, he took into account the fact that he apparently, meaning the judge, believes that at age 19, this fellow didn't understand the nature of his actions because lack of brain development.
Yes.
Okay. Now go to the enunciation shooter. At age 17, he takes his mother with him to wherever you have to go for his mother to vouch that he's now wants to be a woman. He's declaring that he's a woman. And he wants to change his name. Legally wants to change his name. And that was done right at the spot. So which is it? I'm afraid there have been examples at even much younger ages of people wishing to become transgender at younger ages. But a guy at 2 a.m. holding what appeared to the victim as a very threatening rifle, he's off the hook because the judge is of the belief that he did not have complete brain development yet. But the kid at 17 who'd been a screwball way before the age of 17, sounds like the latest wrinkle is, hey, come with me. I'm a woman now. I want to change my name. I'm going to become a woman. That's okay. We can do that. So you tell me, are we broken or are we not broken?
We are broken and laying in pieces on the side of the road.
We're completely broken because where is the set of standards that are applicable to just American civil behavior? Where are the set? What is the standard?
Where have they gone?
We all went Humpty Dumpty.
Now, I don't know if this lunatic at Annunciation, upon legally changing his name, I know nothing more than that. Did he begin taking pills, for example? Did he begin taking hormone treatments?
One of the stories I read, and I hope somebody here can back me up, this morning said that he had said on that videotape that his two biggest mistakes were changing gender and falling in love with weed. And he gave advice, evidently, allegedly, on one of these tapes. Don't get involved with weed and don't change your gender before he specified a certain age. I don't remember what that was. 18, maybe. Anybody else read that?
I'd make it 21. Yeah, I did read that. I'd make it 21.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, according to Judge Paul Gunderson, that gives you a 2-year window for your brain to develop. Because at 19, he said this thug in St. Peter, Minnesota, was not brain developed. Okay, so give him 2 more years. Is his brain now developed? We've heard Mary Moriarty say the same thing, that she believes a lot of teens do not have the proper brain development to understand the nature and significance of their gun crimes.
I don't care. They should still be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I don't care how old they are.
But Gunderson and Mary Moriarty and other Mysterians, Gunderson, I'm assuming you're a Mysterian. You just gave yourself away.
Yeah.
But if they're
Moriarty and other Mysterians, you're perfectly fine with somebody changing their gender before the age at which you think brains are developed. So tell me we're not broken. We can't solve that. We have thrown standards out the window for virtually anything. Legalized theft in Minnesota. No, not legalized. Mainstream theft. Mainstreaming criminal behavior. What kind of special session does Walz want to have to zero in on what kind of gun control? That which only would affect white people getting a gun? In other words, because two white people were killed, we're going to have a special session? What about all the black kids who get killed every day of the week? I didn't see a call for a special session. Where's the special session? Is there a difference? Now that there's no standards, we have to make them up. Is there a difference when young black males shoot each other? Do we get to ignore that?
Yeah, we do.
But when a crackpot shoots two white kids, we better call a special session? Which is it? What are we supposed to believe? Other than this system in a state that I don't recognize, just like this woman was quoted saying, this is not a city I recognize when her windows got smashed. I don't recognize this state. What the hell standards are we operating under?
And there wasn't also a ban or a call for the ban on weapons when Trump was almost assassinated.
No, I didn't hear anything.
No.
Because unfortunately, the truth of the standard should be the country will, bear with me. My argument is that the country's broken because of a disappearance and lack of moral and ethical integrity. It's been drummed out of us. Part of that is drumming God out of society. We are broken. This country is broken. So therefore, it's a catch-22. On the one hand, I could sit here for 2 hours and make the argument that you should ban every gun ever made should not be allowed in the United States. Why? Because of the lack of moral and ethical integrity, I'm in danger from a lunatic every time I walk down the street. We all are. I'm in danger every time I go outside because we have mainstream lunacy, we've mainstream theft, we've mainstream gang shootings. The cops work their asses off day and night arresting people. They just suffer no consequences. They're back on the street, and it continues. The cycle continues. Why? There's no moral and ethical clarity. There's no standard where this stops. Now, again, go back to Walz. What special session does Tim want to have? What do we want to ban this time? Now, this country had an assault rifle ban, and statistically, it didn't disappoint, but it also didn't really accomplish anything. What is the argument? See, this is so silly. Their assault style, that's completely different than automatic. How many school shootings have been caused by... Wait, go back. What about the Las Vegas shooter who shot up the country music festival? Did he have an automatic?
He had a special clip.
Look it up, please, John.
The only thing I remember about that is he had a bump stock. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which to me is a novelty, kind of a dumb item, but that's all I remember.
And he had multiple firearms. Correct?
But was it automatic? Meaning all he had to do was hold that trigger once. Was that what he had? Because that's not what the lunatic at Annunciation had. He did not have that.
The shooter in Las Vegas had 24 firearms. 12 of them had been modified with what Kenny was talking about, bump stocks, to enable semi-automatic guns to fire.
I'm sorry, John. Enable semi-automatic
guns to fire at a rate mimicking automatic weapons.
All right.
So
and bump stocks you can buy on Amazon, can't you?
I'm not familiar with bump stocks. I do not know. There's also another kit that fires a shot when you release the trigger. Pull the trigger, that's a shot. Release the trigger, that's another shot.
My heart aches for the people wandering in misery right now, imagining their own children shot like those kids at Annunciation. My heart aches for them, but they're not understanding what's happened to this country.
No.
They're not. They haven't gone deep enough in their thinking.
Yep, they're taking the easy way out. Yep.
But if you let a 19-year-old go and you say his mind isn't formed well enough,
right?
He's already done his life of crime. How are we going to correct that? How are you going to give him that mentorship?
Well,
if he's back in the street.
I'm not. He's going to jail for his term.
Well, he will eventually, yes.
And the lunatic would be going to a state hospital. I'd call a special session to bring back state hospitals. I'd rather spend the money on state hospitals than on Somalis stealing food money. I'd rather spend state money on state hospitals than anything the Somalis say they need the money for. Sorry, let's have tough talk for a change, okay? How many state hospitals could we get for $1 billion? 3 or 4?
Well, you could change in the old morgue. You could start with the old morgue, change that into barracks.
And we're led countrywide, both sides of the aisle. We're led by a political class that doesn't understand this either. And if they understand it, they're ignoring it. This country's broken. It started to get broken long before Trump, long before Biden. The mystery has been around for some time. And I don't want emails from people telling me that I'm anti-gun, because that isn't even the point. You're not thinking. You're not looking at the big picture. In a non-broken society, the Annunciation lunatic would not have been able to get a gun because he would have been getting treatment in a hospital.
I was going to ask you about the red flag law. And all of us have kids, and think about how much we absolutely cherish and worship those kids. Are any of us at the time, or maybe even now, would we turn them in for mental illness and put them on the list so they could never purchase a firearm? Would you do that?
Yes.
Yes.
I wouldn't have to think about it just because for their own safety and for the safety of the potential. It would be a hard decision.
I talking to a friend over the weekend, and she told me about a kid she knows that her way of putting it was he could have been that shooter at Annunciation because he's insane.
Well, what are they doing about it?
Exactly. That's it. Exactly. That's a hard decision for a parent to make.
But again, I liken it to the thing. If your kid comes and says, I'm gay, you say, okay, let's roll with it. If they say, I want to change.
My heart aches for this knee-jerk, the people who have this knee-jerk reaction that, A, it's Trump's fault, and B, if only we didn't have assault weapons. You don't get it. My heart's going to ache for you more when you get it, when you finally understand what's really happening.
They're, like I said, they're taking the easy way out to make themselves feel better. You need to think deeper than that.
You got a judge in Nicollet County who says of a 19-year-old who threatened to kill a woman, and if she didn't give him her car, threatened to had the gun at her head. He said, well, his brain isn't really fully developed yet to understand things. But at 17 or younger, somebody can decide to be what they aren't. What the hell do you want? Where's the standard? You're going to need a lawyer.
Lawyer up, baby.
Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys. Fortunately, let's just limit this to car accidents.
Okay.
Because the insurance companies and adjusters can be tough to deal with. You need somebody there to help you. You need a team. That's where Mike Bryant and his team come in. They'll explain your rights, represent you, help you through a difficult time, For 6 consecutive years, Mike Bryant has been recognized as a super lawyer. He's been named among Minnesota's top 40 personal injury lawyers by Minnesota Law and Politics. They're the Bible of such things. Brian Bradshaw hopes you're never in an accident, but if you are, call them. 800-770-7008 or go to minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Your case evaluation, of course, is free. And Bradshaw and Bryant does not want you to be part of the problem. Don't text and drive or drive distracted. That's just common sense from Bradshaw and Bryant.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
I don't know.
Oh, no! No!
Please hold that down.
You silly goose.
I don't know if you guys have seen the forecast, but highs in the lower 60s this week.
Can't wait.
Fall is here, baby. It's here. As you've already heard on GL, our chief lawn and landscaping foreman at ProTurf, he's informed us that now's the time. Fall is the best time of the year to plant shrubs, trees, and perennials. And that's where ProTurf is going to help you out, and they're going to improve that outdoor environment of yours. Perfect for root development for all plants, leaving plenty of time for new plantings to establish roots and survive our winter. Call on ProTurf today, and they're going to throw some digital voodoo at you. That's the best way I can describe it. They will show you what the finished product will look like before they even put a shovel in the ground. It's really amazing, and you can really see the different choices that you have to improve your situation. And it can be anything from simple foundation, rock replacement, maybe a complete landscape makeover, tear everything out, start over. ProTurf can do all of that. And you know what this is going to do? Number one, it's going to make you feel better. It's going to improve your mood. And it's also going to force your equity up. It's giving you something called curb appeal. The neighbors will be jealous, and isn't that what we all want?
Yes.
And to sweeten the deal, yeah, there's nothing better than jealous neighbors. Trust me. That's ProTurf plays a big role in jealous neighbors. They're going to give you the State Fair special, either a free 6-foot Colorado spruce or a 2-inch sugar maple with any project over $4,000. It's a $650 value. Good until they run out of trees. Log on to professionalturf.com. Get the free estimate request started and get that project going. They've been around since '82. They know what's up. Professionalturf.com.
Here's John Heidt in the newsroom.
Thank you, Joe. This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. As we've been talking about, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says he intends to call lawmakers back to the Capitol to address gun laws in the wake of the mass shooting at Annunciation Church. Appearing at Deerwood Elementary in Eagan for the first day of the new school year, the governor made clear he wants legislators to take some action. He wouldn't get into specifics, though, but said he plans to release a proposal for lawmakers to consider in the coming days. That proposal likely to focus on types of weapons, red flag reporters, mental health, and safe storage. Multiple Republican lawmakers in recent days have said that they haven't heard from the governor about a special session and insisted it might be a partisan stunt instead. House Speaker Lisa Dameth also said she supports creating a $50 million security program to make money for security available to non-public schools across the state. The governor said he plans to reach out to Republicans this week, adding, quote, "I'm going to hear where they're at on this. I'm going to ask them." They have not put out any solutions. They just seem to say things we can't do, and they have not put out any things that we can do. If they've got any suggestions, I'm open to it. With a split legislature, lawmakers will need to work together to get anything passed, something the governor acknowledged. Regardless, it appears the governor will bring lawmakers back to St. Paul and may issue his order later this week.
How about this? If every gun is an assault weapon, and it is, then the purchase of any gun must be preceded by the same test that has to be given to those few people who purchase fully automatic weapons. The same FBI background, psychiatric evaluation, everything.
Yep.
Every single gun if I go in to buy a .22 rifle to plunk tin cans,
What happens?
I have to take the same intensive background check that everybody has to take, no matter the quality of the weapon.
That is my most used firearm. And I've got a bunch of them, and they're so fun, and that's what I have the most rounds of ammunition for. The smallest, it's
How could you argue against that?
So delightful.
You need to face a panel of FBIs, shrinks, everything.
Now,
no matter what gun you're buying.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk assault weapons, I've got this really dandy pool cue that I cut off and filled with lead when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
That's an assault weapon. You know what a K-bar knife is?
Yep.
One of those knives with a blade about yay long. I got a couple of those.
Yeah.
Those are assault weapons.
Yeah.
That folding buck knife of mine, that's an assault weapon.
I personally can't wait to read the email tomorrow.
Oh, my baseball bat.
Bleep them.
I've got a half-size baseball bat. Pretty sure that's an assault
Sawed
weapon.
off? Sawed-off
baseball bat, yeah.
I got a prop shaft from a 1938 Chris-Craft. If I could lift it, it would be a...
How about if we have mandatory sentencing if you use a gun in committing a crime?
Now, see, there's a guy that uses his brain. That's all we ask of people.
That would be helpful.
Well, what would have to happen, John, is the mystery would have to acquiesce to the idea that you don't get away with telling a 19-year-old his brain ain't developed.
Yeah. So a guy like Judge Gunderson couldn't just say, well, he served a year, that's good enough.
Yeah.
That fella has to go to jail
That's
for
absolutely.
whatever sentence we pick is mandatory, I guess.
How about this? How about a judge that makes that decision and then that person reoffends? That judge faces prosecution.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh.
That's not a bad idea.
The crazy one came up with a really good one.
And parents,
I don't like that
parents held responsible for gun crimes.
John, why don't you like
committed
that one?
by teenagers.
Well, I think if, depending on what the sentence is, then you'd have to figure out
how do we replace all these judges?
What's good, what's bad.
When Mary Moriarty has a turnstile like we're going through a Target shopping center.
Yeah, she's not a judge, though. She's
but my point is those that are in the positions to put these whack jobs behind bars and refuse to do so, how about they face prosecution?
But like they say, this kid, you gave him 2 years. Is that enough, or do we hold the judge responsible if after 2 years something happens? You know what I mean? Who makes the 5, 10?
I've become tired with my own question, to be honest with you.
0 years.
And now my thinking has strayed off to that ballot where we have all these judges running unopposed and we don't know anything about any of them.
Yep. Exactly.
What did you say before we started arguing, Joe? You had a good point.
Not all assault rifles.
No matter what type of guns being purchased, the test has to be more significant than it is today.
No, that ain't it.
I said, you got to have FBI background check. You have to have a psychiatric check. You have to question the family. Is it okay if Bobby wants to buy this gun? Do you have any thoughts about that? Are you worried about that? The whole thing has to be done. Everything. Every possible question has to be asked. You got to ferret out this lunatic at Annunciation.
Do you know what I have as my defense mechanism?
Oh, boy.
These hands. These hands that will pray and plead for mercy as I cry like a baby, rolling on the floor, pleading for
these eyes.
Help, you know?
I thought you were going to give the Anchorman, Jack Johnson, and who was the other one?
The Punch-Out.
Yeah.
In other news,
we just crashed.
I love
other news. A man accused of threatening to shoot up the United Healthcare campus in Minnetonka has been found incompetent to stand trial, according to court documents filed last month. Ian Stanley Wagner had been charged with 2 counts of illegal firearm possession, 2 counts of threats of violence in connection with the standoff outside United Healthcare. He also faces several counts of violating a restraining order, as well as counts of harassment and threats of violence in connection with other cases. Judge found probable cause that Wagner committed the offense offenses and ordered him to undergo a competency exam. Psychologists found him incompetent and criminal proceedings were suspended until further notice. However, the Hennepin County Attorney's Office submitted documents stating it still intends to prosecute Wagner. As previously reported, the FBI contacted Minnetonka police in April saying someone was threatening to shoot up the campus. That came about 4 months after the company's CEO, Brian Thompson, was gunned down in Manhattan. The suspect identified himself as Wagner and said he was parked in a corporate parking lot with a loaded firearm. The recorded 911 call revealed that Wagner told the dispatcher he would fire into the building if criminal charges against him weren't dropped. He had 2 outstanding arrest warrants at the time of the standoff, one for violating probation following a conviction of making threats. There are also multiple restraining orders against him. Wagner had also been on electronic home monitoring as of March as part of his sentencing in 2 other cases.
Well, then there you are. He needed the competency examination before he could buy a gun.
And so let's go down that road for a second, Joe. So he gets put on the red flag list. He cannot purchase a firearm. Where's he going to get that firearm that he is going to get no matter what? Straw buyer. Like that was the case for that criminal in Burnsville a couple of years ago or a year ago that shot the fire department responders.
Straw buyers should go to jail.
And straw buying is illegal, but it happened anyway.
Well, because we're broken.
We need deep thought going into this. We need better resolutions, better ideas.
We need, to quote Mr. Souchere, we need more moral and ethical
integrity
boundaries.
Yeah. We have there's no ground floor. Nothing. Everything goes. Does the mystery want that? Maybe that's the end game of the mystery is such chaos that people will beg them to do something about it.
By the way, that kid I made reference to, highly broken family.
The one you made reference to off air?
Well, was I off air when I made that reference?
Well, maybe you weren't. I don't remember.
If it was off air, I made reference to a gal that told me about a young kid that's so troubled that he could have been the kind of person that shot up a school.
Yeah, but he's not a gun owner. Is that part of the story?
No.
Who's preventing him from being a gun owner?
Probably his age, and I don't know if the red flag is in effect for him or not. It should be.
Should be. It's by the sound of it.
Yeah.
A Somali-American leader and Ramsey County Sheriff civilian officer and a familiar name was detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement on Friday in downtown Minneapolis and brought to the Freeborn County Adult Detention Center in Albert Lea. Omar Jamal of Minneapolis has lived in the U.S. for 20 years, according to the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. He joined the Sheriff's Office as a civilian community service officer in 2020. Steve Linders is with Ramsey County Sheriff's Office, and he said Omar has played an integral role in helping us liaison with the Somali community in Minnesota, which has the largest population of Somalis in the country. Jamal's attorney said a judge previously granted Jamal protection against deportation. Attorney Abdulkani Jaban said years ago a U.S. immigration judge found Jamal would face persecution if returned to Somalia and granted him protection from removal under U.S. law. We are aware that ICE, he said, the lawyer continuing, may now be exploring alternate removal options. However, Mr. Jamal is not a citizen of any other country, including Canada.
I have a question about that because when you were reading about this story, community leader is used. Is that a position you apply for? Do you get promoted to community leader?
Let's put it this way.
How does it work?
I didn't consider him a community leader.
Yeah.
Okay. The St. Paul Police Department did release a statement about this last week. I believe it was on Twitter.
Yeah, that's part of what I just read from Linders, the statement.
Yep.
So they say he's been...
So could I just call myself a community leader?
Can I tell you something? I was reading a story. Have you ever heard of Drew Binsky? He has traveled through all 197 countries in the world. He's 34 years old. He has spent the last decade visiting every country and shares his travel content on YouTube. He has 5.7 million subscribers. So far, he has accrued more than 1 billion views. In one video called Top 5 Places Where I Felt the Most Unsafe as a Traveler, the American blogger revealed Mogadishu, Somalia's capital, as the very worst place he's ever visited. Describing Mogadishu as miserable, Drew said the city has, this is amazing, no rules and no laws. He adds that the offshoot of Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, operates there, making it a very, very scary place to travel. He said every time you leave your hotel, you have to have a convoy in the front and back with 4 bulletproof vest military guys sitting on the beds of each truck with AK-47s in their hands, scouting out the area before you go. And then the other 4 cities that made his list are Conakry in Guinea, Kandahar, Afghanistan, Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and Tripoli, Libya. I only bring this up because the Somalis, they really, who are born in Somalia, they're born into just utter chaos, where it must be every man, woman, and child for himself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And there is no chance to have a successful, functioning civil society. And you have to wonder how much of those personality traits come with them when they end up over here. Because they're still acting as though it's every man, woman, and child for himself, and I'm going to get this, I'm going to stay. I don't care how I have to get it. I'm getting this, and I'm getting that.
Fight for survival.
And because they're born into such misery and such chaos that how much stays with, they come to here, and rather than get down on your knees and say, oh, my God, is this heaven? They're repeating the chaos.
Like the Hmong people did.
Yeah.
Like the Hmong people that came in the 70s.
But some take advantage of really good opportunities. Like, look at the likes of Ilhan Omar. You know, she's able to increase her net worth.
No, it's funny. Well, that's right. She has embraced capitalism.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll get to her after John's news.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
Before we go to break, let me just mention nobody won the Powerball last night.
Great. That cost me $20. Some kid I used to have said, give me $20. I'm going to go get Powerball tickets.
I was in line. I'm not going to name the city.
Thank you for your contribution.
I was in line behind a guy yesterday. Do you want to know, Anakani, you want to know why?
Because Anakani, you want what?
He bought $500
he's a moron.
He's
a complete
Powerball
moron.
tickets. I said, no.
You're a dummy.
Just one.
You just need one.
One gives you a 50-50 chance.
You're either going to win it or you're
going
not.
to win or you're not. That's 50-50.
Yeah. I went to the local Quick Trip to pick up something else. I said, oh, give me a Powerball ticket, too. And the guy started laughing. He said, well, you don't want 50 of them like everybody else? I said, no. Just one if I'm going to win.
I'll take their money, though.
Yeah.
You guys sound like a bunch of rubes.
What'd you get at Quick Trip, Johnny?
I actually got my wife a
tornado,
pop, and I got myself a little roller, buffalo chicken roller. Ooh,
those are pretty good.
Can we take a break?
Hang on, because I want to tell you the jackpot probably will be up to about $1.3 to $5 billion.
Wow! I'm buying the Twins, by the way.
Not me.
When I win.
I don't think you'll have enough money.
I'm giving it all away. I'm giving it all away. You guys are going to be millionaires when I win.
Oh, nice. I hope Kenny wins.
I do too.
You'll never pick up a check again, bro.
Why don't we take a break and hear from Mr. Reavers?
Boys,
if I ask you out.
Daddy loves you very, very much.
If I ask you out.
Hey, let's talk about money. Let's talk about
that won't happen.
Let's talk about our friends at North American Banking Company. Yeah, that's what you would spring for.
Right.
Rook wins $1.5 billion, and he's going to take us all out for dinner.
Dinner with Rook. He'll pick it up.
I'm going to pick my spots, though. Okay.
No, you can't order that. You're not ordering that top.
50 or below.
North American Banking Company is here to serve you, your family, and your business with all of your money. Maybe you're going to win the lottery. Take that and deposit it right now at North American Banking Company because they have 6 fantastic Twin Cities locations to serve you. It's Roseville and 50th in France. Those are the homes of yours truly. But you can also see them in Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, and also in Maple Grove. They are locally owned and operated. And here's why that's important. That means loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. They are not sent out of state. So this helps all of you business owners solve problems quickly and expand your business with confidence. And you know what? They offer all of the services as the other big national banks, whether you're looking to buy a home, maybe finance a new home renovation project, or perhaps get that new car that you've been dreaming about. My friends at North American Banking Company are going to be able to help you out. So your first step can be checking them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Hi, folks. It's the rookie here, and Garage Logic really tries to remind people to be civil, to be smart, and to be engaged. Well, for the couple of years now on Garage Logic, I've been sharing with you some of the great things that the Minnesota Freemasons are doing, donating millions of dollars to support things like cancer research, healthy aging studies, and children's communication disorders, just to name a few items that they're doing. The Freemasons throughout Minnesota working together to make the world a better place. They focus on those core values that we talk about in GL: authentic friendship, personal growth, helping those in need. And if you'd like to learn more, I'll give you a little preview, mnfreemasons.org. Also, you and your family are invited to learn more about the Civility Project that they're putting on. It's aimed at rediscovering the power of respect, empathy, and connection. The initiative invites the next generation to reclaim civility through real conversations, timeless etiquette, and building community. The kind of things we talk about here on Garage Logic. Well, they're putting their money where their mouth is. Visit mnmasoniccharities.org/civility project. There's going to be a couple more coming around, and I will certainly let you know when they are. Their last one was Monday, August 25th. Very successful. More info on mnmasoniccharities.org/civility project. Johnny?
Thank you, Rook. The Taliban says the death toll from a major earthquake in eastern Afghanistan passed 1,400 this morning, with more than 3,000 people injured, as the United Nations warn of an exponential rise in casualties. The figures provided so far are just for one province. Sunday night's powerful 6.0 magnitude earthquake hit several provinces, causing extensive damage, flattened villages, trapped people under the rubble of homes constructed mostly of mud, bricks, and wood that were unable to withstand the shock.
Was the Taliban, Mike Fratelloni, I did an emergency weekly scramble yesterday. Were they asking for money from us? Is that what I read?
I have no idea. I can't help you with that.
Okay.
You don't know anything about that?
No.
You're going TK.
A federal judge this morning said President Donald Trump's administration violated federal law on the use of National Guard troops during Southern California immigration enforcement operations and accompanying protests. Judge Charles Breyer in San Francisco did not require the remaining troops to be withdrawn, however. He said his order to go into effect on Friday. The order comes after California sued, saying the troops sent to Los Angeles over the summer were violating a law that prohibits military enforcement of domestic laws. Lawyers for the administration argued the Posse Comitatus Act does not apply because the troops were protecting federal officers, not enforcing laws. They say the troops were mobilized under an authority that allows the president to deploy them. The judge's decision comes as the president has talked about using National Guard deployments in Democratic-led cities like Chicago, Baltimore, and New York. He's already deployed the Guard as part of his law enforcement takeover in Washington, where he has direct legal control. Meanwhile, the president says he plans to appeal a federal appeals court decision that voided most of his reciprocal tariffs against countries late Friday. Levies imposed on over 60 countries will remain in effect until October 14th, per the court's ruling, barring a superseding decision from the Supreme Court. Wall Street Journal reporting the Trump family notched as much as $5 billion in paper wealth yesterday after its flagship crypto venture opened trading of a new digital currency. The launch is akin to an initial public offering in which the cryptocurrency called WLFI can now be bought and sold on the open market like a listed company's shares. Beforehand, people who had privately bought it from the Trump venture, World Liberty Financial, hadn't been able to exchange their tokens.
Yeah, well, Garage Logic has the town council, so there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
take
we're
that.
getting rich off that. Let me tell you something right
And
now.
that ain't just paper wealth. That's it's right there.
On account of, you want to know why?
That's right.
You know, I didn't get an account of You Want to Know Why shirt.
Boy, I got one.
You didn't?
No.
I did.
I think they sold out.
I gave mine away.
I gave mine away.
We have a mystery for conspiracy buffs. I know we got a couple conspiracy fellows on the show here, so you
Talk
let
to me,
know.
Goose.
You let me know what
Let me
you're
have
thinking
it.
here.
I love it.
A clip appearing to show an object being thrown out of the window at the White House.
Yeah, what
has
was that?
I saw that, but I didn't
raised
see where
questions.
it was.
The unverified video showed someone coming up to a window on the top floor of the White House and appearing to drop an object out of it. Newsweek says they've contacted the White House for comment via email, but have heard nothing. The visual of something being tossed from the window, circulated without context or confirmation, has generated a flurry of speculation at a time when the public is already attuned to concerns about transparency and the president's well-being. Rumors concerning Trump's health have grown in recent weeks, particularly after images circulating showing discoloration and swelling on his hands. Concerns about the administration's transparency have also persisted in the wake of the most recent Jeffrey Epstein scandal. As of this morning, still no comment from anyone on the video.
Johnny,
John, this news just in.
Yeah.
A surge in Chicago gun violence led two Illinois state representatives to request the National Guard to help fight violent crime in the city.
Weird.
Critics call the plea misguided, but others argue that the Guard could help control the stem the wave of killings. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. This is 2010 when two Democratic representatives called on the government to bring the National Guard to Chicago. I'm sorry. It's
So it was only
2010.
racist when Trump did it.
Yeah.
That's when it was
2010,
racist.
two Democratic
Got
representatives, one of whom, John Fritchie, he's the 11th District on the north side of Chicago. This was from an NPR piece that Jordy found from 2000. I'm sorry, it was 2010. John.
That's your bad.
I thought it was breaking now. I apologize.
As usual, you brought in a really old story, Joe.
John, I do have evidence of what that object was.
Yeah.
Apparently, that was Rudy Giuliani's Presidential Medal of Freedom that was tossed
How
up.
could that screwball get the Medal of Freedom?
That was my next story, Chris, and we did not plan this, of course.
How fun would it be if it was a TV? Seriously. Wouldn't that be cool?
It was smashed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got 3. Why?
I've always wanted to do that.
Oh, President Trump, as Chris somewhat alluded to there, said yesterday on Truth Social that former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who was seriously injured, by the way, over the weekend in a freak car accident, will get the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The 81-year-old Giuliani was hospitalized with a fractured vertebrae and multiple cuts and bruises after the accident. And Giuliani remains one of the nation's most recognizable political figures. He became known as America's mayor for his leadership role in the wake of the September 11th terror attacks. However, he became a bit of a more divisive figure who recently has been embroiled in controversies and legal battles. He's been disbarred in New York and Washington after repeatedly making false claims about Trump's 2020 election defeat. He also now faces criminal charges in Georgia and Arizona tied to efforts to overturn the election, allegations he has denied. Yesterday, the president said he will receive the Presidential Medal.
I hope upon reception it's not hot in there. Otherwise, that black dye will run down his face.
Like at the, what was it, the Four Seasons?
Whatever.
Four Seasons.
He might have been a candidate for that in 2001. He certainly isn't now.
Yeah.
Is that medal worth anything on the open market? I mean, can he throw that up on eBay?
He needs the money.
Get a couple hundred?
Pay off his debts.
Yeah.
Man.
So you think it's, sorry. go ahead.
Talk about shattering your early life illusions. I don't know if you guys saw this story. A late Tennessee sheriff who inspired a Hollywood movie about a law enforcement officer who took on organized crime actually killed his wife in 1967. That was part of the movie. Not that he killed her, but that he was fighting the people that killed her. Led people to believe she was killed by his enemies. We're talking, of course, about Buford Pusser, the hero of 1973's Walking Tall.
Walking Tall, Buford.
Which immortalized him as a tough but fair sheriff with zero tolerance for crime. The movie was remade in 2004 and well, it was a strong influence on people joining law enforcement. But now there's enough evidence that if Pusser, the McNairy County sheriff who died in the car crash 7 years after his wife's deaths, were alive, he would be indicted for the killing of Pauline Pusser. Investigators also uncovered signs that she had suffered from domestic violence. Prosecutors worked with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, which began re-examining decades-old files on the death in 2022 as part of a regular review of cold cases. The case dated back to 1967. I don't know. You've all seen the movie, I'm sure, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
I'm not letting anyone named Buford Pusser buy a gun.
Yeah.
I just don't like the name.
You're off the list, Buf.
Yeah.
I just don't like the name.
Unfortunate last name.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Anyway, we all thought he was a hero.
I didn't think anything of him, and I doubt if I saw the movie.
You didn't see the movie, Joe?
If I do, I don't remember. I do.
Walking Tall?
Maybe I did, John, but it's getting to be a long time ago now, isn't it?
You know why that is?
It really is.
Because Connie, you want to know why?
Connie, you want to know why?
Yeah.
This proves my point that it's always better to fake your own death.
Yeah, well,
It's
a guy
so much
tried it in the
easier.
kayak. That didn't work.
Didn't work.
He fell for that chick in the Stan countries, or Bulgaria or something.
He didn't have the grit, the stones. He could have pulled it off if he didn't come back.
Say, are we done, John?
Yeah, one death, actor Graham Greene, not the long dead brilliant writer, but Graham Greene, who we all know and saw in many, many movies.
Great actor.
Great actor. And
Dances with Wolves, right?
He was, Oscar nominee for Dances with Wolves, and he was in a lot of movies. Maverick, Die Hard with a Vengeance, The Green Mile, a lot of TV roles, including Wolf Lake, Marvo's Echo, Northern Exposure, Lonesome Dove, the series, Longmire, and others.
I can't place him in my mind's eye.
If you saw a picture, Joe, you'd know him right away. 72 years old, he was the First Nations actor who opened doors for a lot of indigenous
Was
actors.
he a native?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
American native?
Yep.
Canada.
Well, he was from Canada.
Yeah. Well, he was the First Nation.
Canadian First Nation.
Unlike other guys that played Native Americans in movies in like the 60s.
The 50s and 60s.
Well,
Like
let's
Rock
keep in mind
Hudson.
that Canada is in North America.
Yeah,
So,
it's America's
you know,
hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Let's take a break.
You cannot stop him. He'll just make a move. Joe Souchere.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Okay.
Here is your latest Ilhan Omar report.
I love on-air production meeting.
Timing was really good, wasn't it? No, it's the Ilhan Omar update.
Gotcha.
She told the press months ago, Ilhan did, our very own Ilhan. What a sweetheart.
Pride of Minnesota.
Yeah. That it was right-wing misinformation to classify her as a millionaire. You know what? She's right. She's a multimillionaire. She makes a salary of less than $200,000 a year, but suddenly is worth $30 million. How can this be? This is what site? It's been all over the New York Post.
Well, there's that guy that she married that was cheating on his wife. Yeah.
She don't like rich people.
She could kill somebody live on TV and still win the election in Minneapolis.
Well, that's very Trumpian, but you're right.
Wait a minute. Did he say that?
He did, pretty much.
Well, I should charge him for something. He owes me.
Remember? Shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and nobody.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah, he said that.
Omar reported in her latest financial disclosure that she and her husband, former political consultant Tim Minette, accumulated a net worth at the end of 24 ranging from at least $6 million to $30 million. Their wealth is derived almost entirely from the value of Minette's ownership stake in his two companies that together were worth more than $51,000. Well, were worth no more than $51,000 at the end of 2023. The exact value of Omar's personal fortune at the end of 2024 is unclear. Still, the figures in Omar's latest disclosure show that her and her husband's net worth skyrocketed by 3,500% in just 1 year. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
Omar's extraordinary accumulation of wealth in 2024 could raise uncomfortable questions for the Minnesota Democrat. Really? Who in February told Business Insider that she has been the subject of a coordinated right-wing disinformation campaign that falsely claims she's worth millions of dollars. How is this possible?
All she does is lie. Everything she says is a lie.
Ilhan Omar reported a negative net worth of minus $45,000 when she was first elected to Congress in 2019. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. She reported a negative net. She was $45,000 in debt, in other words, when she got elected in 2019. In May of 25, her financial disclosure shows a net worth of $30 million.
Woo!
That's a 66,676% increase in 6 years. Her husband's venture capital firm was no more than $1,000 in 2023. Now she says it's worth up to $25 million. It specializes in structuring legislation.
Hey, who doesn't?
Didn't she, before they were married, didn't she had him on the payroll as a consultant?
Yes.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, because this is Minnesota, we can't count on anyone in our government to question her about this. Certainly Walz won't. The legislature won't. I really doubt if the Star Tribune will try to get to the bottom of this. Clearly, she's a crook, allegedly. I wonder how much food fraud money she got.
You will never convince me that she and others on the inside are not on the take.
Folks in America, we're all being played. This third rail runs some of the greatest games ever known to man. They're scam artists. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. They're all scam. And Trump's making more money as president than he did when he wasn't president. They're playing a game that we don't get to play.
Nope.
And everything they say and do is based on keeping themselves in power. Witness Walz's call for special legislation.
Right.
Special session, excuse me. All that is meant to do is to make you, the idiot public, happy that somebody's finally going to do something about this quote-unquote gun violence.
And all that special session is devoted to is trying to clean up the mess that your mainstreaming of crime has created.
Yeah. If they cared, they would have handled this a long time ago.
If they cared, that kid wouldn't have shot up Annunciation School.
We wouldn't have mass shootings over north every day.
They don't care. They're making too much money.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Everything they say and do is to keep you complacent.
Hey, Ilhan, come on our show. I extend this invitation to your people. Come on our show and legitimately explain how you suddenly are worth as much as $30 million. When you started, what's 19 from 6 years ago, you started $45,000 in the hole. You're now worth $30 million. How can that be?
45 in the hole.
How did you do it? I don't want to pay my taxes September 15th, Ilhan. I don't want to pay my quarterly taxes. I'm tired of it. All we do is follow the rules, and all they do is break them.
And
I'm comfortable saying this. There's no legitimate way this woman went from $45,000 in the hole to $30 million in 6 years. Nothing. No way.
We're being suckered.
We are so screwed by these people. You saps that vote for her, you deserve everything you get.
Anyway, duck hunting season's coming up. I can't stop thinking about that.
Well, that's what they throw us. They throw us duck
that's
hunting
what we
season.
have to do in order to mentally survive this nonsense.
Hey, we get to go duck hunting. Hey, let them go duck hunting and fishing.
Town ball season.
Raise their license a little bit. Raise their license fee a little bit.
I thought of a GL. Is it a link or an analogy about why we're in this mess? Because these people keep getting elected. Did you see the story over the weekend at the Great Minnesota Get Together, Joe? I like to call it the Minnesota State Fair.
Yeah.
The line for the Amish donuts.
Yeah.
Was at times over an hour and a half long.
What does that have to do with this?
I'm getting there. Those people, that's all they care about. They don't give a damn that we're all being robbed blind. I'm going to wait an hour and a half for freaking donuts.
The Amish must do a hell of a donut.
It's pretty good.
I don't care if on the end of that line it's a date with Taylor Swift. I ain't waiting for a donut.
I am, because then our podcast would be number one.
That's true.
I had a thought walking to the bus on Friday afternoon, and I'm included in this. I'm not pointing fingers at people. I wonder what the number was of the pounds of overweight that was in the fair on that day. Like, I could throw a good 80 pounds at you. I can contribute 80 pounds to that overweight tally.
And I know what you mean, Kenny, and I always think that, and I feel guilty. But it's hard not to when you're in a crowd like that.
Everybody was a lard ass, and they're all stuffing shit in their mouth.
What is your theory? There's not
and
a lot
I
of
don't.
healthy
No,
fat
I'm
people
not leaving myself out. I had a giant turkey sandwich in my hand.
Oh, Brookie wants to know what my axiom is. I'll give it to you. You see old people at the fair, and you see terribly obese people at the fair. You never see terribly obese old people at the fair.
I got it. There we go.
Right, because they'll die at 47.
Wouldn't that be curious
We have
to
a
find out?
serious obesity problem in this country.
Joe, wouldn't it be fun to find out that number, the exact number of overweight, unneeded weight?
42,372 pounds.
weigh everybody that walks in instead of a metal detector, a scale.
How long are you waiting?
Don't worry about it. We got an ex-heroin addict as your chief health officer in the country.
Right.
We'll have it all figured out.
Top drawer. How long are you waiting for donuts?
I'm waiting 0. I'm not going to get a donut.
I remember seeing the line.
Reavers was also complaining about, forget Lulu's, the lines are too long. Everybody goes there. It's like, okay.
Well, but that's
Yogi.
my point. Why are you waiting in line for...
You know what was good?
Yes.
That walleye on a stick.
That was pretty good.
That fish guy brought the walleye to us.
Those guys are good.
So
big GLers.
What was that outfit called?
Walleye on a stick?
That was very good.
Yeah.
They're in the
food building.
yeah.
Can I tell you this on account of why?
Huh?
Well, only because they come to us all the way from Marloes Park in South Africa, the traveling Lymans, on this day.
September 2nd.
We were pretty busy on this day. I suppose we felt we had to get going here, huh?
Well, the fair was over.
The fair was over. 1844 on this day.
September 2nd.
French-Canadian voyageur, trader, and farmer Benjamin Jarvis founded Little Canada. His gravestone described him as the first settler of St. Paul, 1844. I know Little Canada well. On this day,
On September 2nd.
1862, in the Battle of Birch Coulee, an engagement of the U.S.-Dakota War, Dakota warriors surrounded a detachment of 160 soldiers and fought them for 30 hours. Casualties for the soldiers numbered 98 before relief troops from Fort Ripley arrived. Dakota losses were unknown. On this day,
September 2.
in 1868, Chris, Oliver H. Kelly organized Minnesota's first permanent Grange. The North Star Grange of St. Paul. Kelly had helped found the National Grange, a political movement and social organization for farmers in Washington, D.C. the year before. Kelly's farm is now a historic site operated by the Minnesota Historical Society.
Right up the road from
That's right.
Highway 10.
Highway 10.
You're right. On this day,
On September 2nd.
in 1873, the Anti-Monopoly Party, headed by Ignatius Donnelly, was established during a state convention in Owatonna.
Ignatius.
The party opposed protective tariffs, monopolies of wood and coal, and extravagant corporate salaries. The Democratic and Republican parties absorbed the anti-monopolist platform, and the party itself survived only one election. On this day,
On September 2nd.
in 1924, 1,100 Ku Klux Klan members from all over the Midwest and 13,000 spectators packed the Fairmont Fairgrounds in a massive rally to initiate 400 Minnesota candidates as members of the KKK. I hope you all just went and bleeped yourself. On this day,
Today is September 2nd.
in 1952, I find this one of the most fascinating this days in history. What's the date today?
Joe, today is September 2nd.
On this day in 1952, doctors Floyd Lewis and C. Walton Lillihei performed the first hypothermic open heart surgery at the University of Minnesota Hospital in Minneapolis. During the procedure, the patient, a 5-year-old girl, had her body temperature lowered to 79 degrees. She recovered and left the hospital 11 days later.
Way to go, Lillihei.
Now, that's all that we're told. I wish I would know more. What is a hypothermic means? They did a cold open heart surgery, I guess.
Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard.
Calling Dr. Mo, Dr. Larry, Dr. Curley. What is John looking up?
I'm looking up to see how long this 5-year-old girl may have lived.
I hope she lived to be 100.
That was my cynical question, too.
You finding anything?
Did she make it home?
I'm not.
Did she make it home?
Next item.
We're in a new town by now.
Item.
On this day in sports disappointment history,
September 2.
In 1965. Quite a year for the Twins. You had an all-star game here. The Twins made the World Series against the Dodgers.
They won the pennant, yeah.
The spring of that year, I think players had to be helicoptered in because of
the flooding
and snow. And it was just a hell of a year, 1965. It was on this day that Bob Allison went 0 for 5 and struck out 5 times in a 5-4 loss. And it doesn't even tell us who they played.
Ouch.
So,
can you look it up?
I don't know if it was, but I will say that Dr. Lillihei worked on the heart of my sister-in-law, my Mick's oldest sister.
How's she doing?
She survived, but she was one of the first. I don't know
how long ago would that have been?
1950 something.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he ain't still around.
He died in 99.
Yeah,
Joe, the 85 and 51 Twins lost to the 74 and 60 Detroit Tigers on this day in September 2nd,
5-4.
I had a program for that World Series, and I was pretty sure I was going to be a millionaire when I offered it up for sale on eBay.
Was it worth about 50 cents?
Well, I'm still here, so, you know.
That was my first Twins game I ever saw was during that World Series. The first game I ever saw in person.
Cool.
Yeah.
To resolve this problem, Lillihei performed operations with the cross circulation, which a donor was hooked up to a nearby to take up the pumping and oxygenation functions of the patient that was being operated on.
Would they hook him up to an ice box or something?
He led the team that performed the successful repair of a ventricular septal defect on March 26, 54.
So was it your aunt?
It wasn't. Although the repair was successful, the patient, 13-month-old Gregory Glidden, died 11 days later of suspected
pneumonia. Was that your wife's
pneumonia.
relative?
No. Terry's still alive.
Well, who's this now? Who are you reading about?
This is on his Wikipedia page.
The 5-year-old?
No, I got the 5-year-old.
Okay. How long did the 5-year-old live?
It doesn't say how long she lived, but it says the operation was a success. She spent 11 days in the hospital and went home 11 days after the operation.
Yeah, that one might be my sister-in-law, Terry.
And that was just...
Might have been.
Might have, seriously.
Her name was Jackie Johnson.
Oh.
And she changed her name to Terry later on in life.
They broke you open, John. Didn't they send you home that day? Get out of here.
No,
You're okay.
Yeah. Here's your heart
days.
pillow.
John?
Yeah.
No indication of how long this child lived.
There's not, but all they did apparently was they fixed a hole in her heart, which I think is something that
you could do
now
that.
is very easy. Then it was kind of hard.
They just stick some gum in there now. It's just it's not a big problem.
There's a hole in the sky
where the tree once stood, but somebody's making money.
Lillihei got the Bronze Star in World War II for service in Italy.
And now Rudy Giuliani's going to get one for leaking hair dye.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
On this day.
Speaking of that, we need more of those GL medals whipped up.
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of people that deserve them.
Boy, I tell you, you know who loves her medal and treats it with respect?
Doris. She sure does.
So much so she doesn't even wear it.
Kidding me? She doesn't even know where it is. It was in some used. It was in a winter beater that's parked in the backyard behind the barn.
No, but every year until this year, Doris always worn her medal.
Is she protesting something or what?
I don't know.
Do you blame her?
She was number 2 on the indictment. In the indictment.
Oh,
I mean, the indictment.
The indictment.
That's a good way of putting it.
Hey, how about with
Marjorie on
Marjorie
Barrero
was number 1.
Fantastic.
Marjorie was number 1.
She went out to Barrero.
But she,
no, I'm kidding.
Hey, how about you do us a favor and hit subscribe on the Garage Logic YouTube channel? That's right. You can watch Garage Logic live on YouTube each and every single day, and you can also see full segments. There's video shorts.
And I just want to remind people that America's a great place. You could be $500 grand in debt in 2019, and today you could be worth upwards of $30 million. Only in America. I don't think she could have done this in Mogadishu.
I'm going to try to do that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Go from 500 in debt to 300 million.